It's okay. It's to not. It no. Larry looked at me like he was gonna beat me up. I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. I was just saying. So she's has a little bit of a reservation. That's part of her reservation. But Ted really loves her, and he's committed to the relationship, and he wants to show her that. You see what I'm saying? His opinion is like he wants to show her, I love you. I'm committing myself to you. I want this marriage, and I want it to work. And so it's not that much about it. We could take it and draw it out to whatever we want to, which is what I want to do, right, Simone? Right. With that look on your face. And Larry, I see you yellow guys. So Jasmine's in the cut still trying to be like, what are you thinking? But at the end of the day, I'm wondering, what do you think about this relationship, Jasmine? Do you think, just from a little bit of information that we know, would you think that she should give him a shot, or how do you feel about that?
I think that it's based off of her individually.
Okay.
I mean, I can't speak for another woman. However, if she's dealing with trust issues and trust factors, marriage is not a bandage to, suppress what pain she may be feeling. That has to be healed in alternative ways, whether they work on couples therapy or other options. So there has to be some kind of effort before trying to take vows for the rest of your life, because it's more than just a title. It's more than just an image. It's a lifetime commitment, and life throws curveballs.
So you feel
trust has to be established or restored in some way before she even considers marriage.
I see you nodding, Yellow Reds. What are you thinking about that, Goslin?
I'm thinking that it didn't say that they weren't together, so if we're still working on the relationship, then maybe he wasn't ready to marry her at first, and Ted wasn't ready at first, and now he is. He's like, we've made it through this point. You forgave me. I love you. I realize I want my family, and I'm willing to take that step, and I want to marry you. You're my queen.
Yeah.
That's what I got from that.
Right. Simone, thoughts?
Well, first, I just speaking from experience, if someone cheats, I would have let it go, because I feel trust, like Jasmine was saying, is very important. And if you don't trust the person, what are we doing? But if that was year 3 and she stayed till year 5 and year 7, it says that she wants to make it work. So I think they need to have open communication. Like, what do you expect from me at this point? What does Ted, he needs to ask her, what do you expect from me? What can I do to gain your trust completely? Because you've given me 4 more years since this happened.
And that's where I was a little confused, because it's sort of like, well, are you still stringing him along, right? I don't know. Am I looking at it? I don't know. What do you think, Jazz?
I don't think you're looking at it wrong. She might, like I said,
her feelings.
That her feelings might really be hurt, and trust is hard to restore. It takes both parties.
Yeah, it really does. It does. Bashi, what are your thoughts?
I mean, this is a situation where he cheated, and that's hard to forgive, and just like she said, you have to build back that trust.
Right.
But also, at the same time, if you stay with him for an additional
See, that's where
4 years, that's where things start to, okay, so you still stayed with them, you still stayed by them. So my only question is, how much longer do you need in order to fully trust him to actually take that next step?
Right.
Because are you just staying with him for as far as monetary obligation? Fact of the matter, do you still have feelings? Is there love? It's like, what's the situation?
Right.
What are you doing?
I don't know, Rashid. I don't know. I feel like, relationships are hard with trust and cheating. I was just gonna put it on the table, cheating. What do you think I think about cheating and infidelity? Simone, is a deal breaker?
Yeah.
I mean, like, just deal breaker, like, boom. But what if?
It is. I say that because, speaking from a personal standpoint, I'm going to look at you sideways if we stay together. If you're going out at night, I'm immediately going to think you're doing something wrong. I'm not going to allow you to be great. I'm going to keep judging you, and we're both going to be miserable. And speaking of Ted, I'm sorry I messed up. I want to make it work and prove my love to you. It's like, that's what you do from jump. It's if you mess up, it's like, okay, you showed me what you're capable of. You can do it again. And I'd rather just not stress about it. I'd rather not stress you out because I'm going to give you a hard time. I don't think it's
not worth it. What?
I mean, I don't necessarily think that's like a very healthy approach to it because
People make mistakes.
Yes, people make mistakes, but it's like if you're gonna keep bringing that up at like every chance, at like every argument that happens afterwards, then like what's the point of just staying there if like at like every argument, at like every fight, at like every type of, you know, like you know.
I feel like because she stayed initially those years after, you've already forgiven me for what I've done. Now, depending on my actions past, you forgiving me should show whether or not I'm worthy of being married. Right. And then I think you should judge me from that point forward. So once you've forgiven me, I'm a new man, technically, even though I am capable of scarring you in that way. But if you're going to put your trust into me and tell me you forgive me, don't stay with me 4 years. And the whole time you really haven't forgiven me.
That's bad.
Okay.
You going, Simone?
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Like, I wouldn't even allow it to get to that because then I'm torturing you and myself. So I would just leave.
What do you think, Jasmine, about infidelity itself? Just the concept of cheating.
I think it says a lot about the person who's
Their
cheating,
character.
basically what they're going through, and how they choose to, what's the word I'm looking for? Just kind of project that. I don't know, maybe not in a healthy way. I personally don't believe in infidelity, but you know, everybody's different.
Yeah.
No judgment.
What do you think, Maurice?
See, I feel like I'm kind of, if I'm being honest, I can be a very insecure guy, and obviously infidelity can go both ways. I was raised by a single mom. My dad's, you know, he's kind of, when I was younger, I kind of saw him as like the poster guy for what I don't want to be, and healing is already tough as it is, and I've watched my mom heal through just all the bullshit, and so it's crazy because even in high school there was a time where I was interested in 2 girls at once, and I would be just like not brutally honest, like make them try to feel shit, but like let them know where I stand so I could step away from that and, you know, try to follow my heart if that's what you know, who I was feeling at the time. I don't like how all that ended up. That still became a mess, but I just know I don't know how I'd handle, you know, being cheated on. I feel like I wouldn't handle it well at all, so I don't think I see myself doing it.
What about you, Larry?
I don't think you should cheat, period. Like, that's it.
It's like, yeah.
If you cheat on me, it's a problem.
I've been cheated on before. It hurts.
I'm sorry.
It does. But it's okay. It makes you tougher. That's the only way I gotta look at it.
Yeah, right.
I say if it didn't kill, whatever doesn't kill you make you stronger. That's just what, maybe it's cliche. It hurts really, 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 really bad. Like, really bad. Because you're like, really? And you're right, sweetheart. Simone, you'd be like, you know, on the straight rail, like on the low key, you'd be like, yeah, okay. You know, you really kind of do. But then you just, look at me opening up on the radio. Who is this? Look at Little Rocket Chip. They tease me, y'all, because they see I always ask questions that I never say anything. So that's why I just wanted to know. I be wanting to know. Inquiring minds, right? You just never know. So, yeah, anyway, so I wanted to see, because you know what I mean? People think differently. You know what I mean? But that was 100 years ago, and I had young children, and you do things differently, right? But I've never forgotten it. I feel like forgiving and forget, right? I don't know if there's forgiving and forgetting. I'm the type, I can forgive. And I'm going to be 100 with you, yellow God, son. I forgive because the Spirit of the living God says that I have to. In order for me to get in His kingdom, in order for me to have His riches and glory, I must do so. The carnal flesh, Jacqueline, never forget. And there's a difference. I don't act on it, right? I don't act on that feeling, because I know that's kind of where, to me, that battle becomes of the fruit. Like he was talking about maybe at the beginning, that darkness plays perhaps, and then the yellow coming in, and that other things was doing to cope with the darkness, right? But at the end of the day, you got to make it. You got to decide either you're going to be predator or the prey. With God on your side, you know you're going to win. And then I'm going to take it back. I ain't going to take it to the gutter where you got it. But see, because we always going to win with God. We always are going to win. It's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. And he tells us that. He says, in this life, you will have many troubles. But he's there for us. You know, that's just where I kind of went to, and maybe that was just a choice. Because I had to, like you were saying, Simone, you're going to, everybody ain't nobody going to be a happy person. It's just not going to go well. So it's like, okay, well, I had little kids. You look at things differently. So I'm going to turn to a higher source, bigger than me. So I'm going to take this to a higher source. And when I take that to that higher source, that is where I chose, right? I'm thinking it's a choice to find solace and forgiveness, because I too, he who without sin cast the first stone. So I too have been a sinner. I am still a sinner because I came in this world the way I came in this world. So I can't judge you, right? You hurt me like a mofo, right? And that's real. So what I have to do is try to deal with that. So I dealt with it with, the Spirit of the living God, looking to the Lord, looking for something bigger than me, higher than him, higher than her, higher than the drama, higher than the bull junk, and take the higher ground. But in terms of, so that's part of that forgiveness part, because the Lord forgave us, right, for our sins. He sent us, in my opinion, who I choose to believe in, he sent his son into the world to forgive, but I ain't gotta forget. And so that's where I be tripping, y'all. And I have to struggle with it on the real deal Holyfield. I straight struggle with that, which is why I'm opening up here with you beautiful people. I don't be forgetting this shit, though. That's the problem with me. I don't forget, and then it's either like, I ain't fucking with you. There is gonna be a level of a big change. There's gonna be a massive shift in the atmosphere. It's gonna be that. Now, I don't know how it's gonna land on the freaking Richter scale, but it's gonna clearly be a shift, a movement, a development. I'm gonna do this piece of poetry for you guys. Look at you guys and brought the poet out of me, you guys. You guys know I'm a poet, right? The Poetry of Justice Show. That's why it's named that, because I am a poet. I'm a published author, and I do spoken word, and I have a book that I've published, and I do plays, and I own a production company, Gingy Production and Entertainment Company. I was telling you about my sister. She is the co-owner. I'm the owner, and she's the president of the company. And we do live theater productions. From the city of Compton, California. Born in San Pedro, raised in Compton, went to all Compton schools, graduated from Compton High School, Tar Bays. And I say that because some people used to say good things didn't come from Compton. When I was a young girl growing up at Compton High, going to school, sometimes I used to go up to Gardena High, go up to Carson High, go up to Banning, like with my cousins and friends. I was a Compton High drill team, cheerleader, song leader. I'm on the front line all the time with the get down. So people would tell me, what school you go to? I go to Compton, Yeah. They don't make girls like you in Compton. What the fuck you mean they don't make? See what I'm saying? So that's why I be like, well, that's bull. Stereotype and all that kind of bull joke. So I'm first, Rashida, tell you, I'm good to let everybody know where I'm from, because it's important to me, because there's other black girls and brown girls that are in the city of Compton, and they hopefully one day will look at me and say, she did it, so I could do it too. You know what I mean? And then not even your young ladies or young boys and girls from Compton, just anywhere, but Compton is very, very important to me, because so many people have said so many negative things about that city, and so much of a negative rap, and what I do is my passion, and I bring it every Saturday night, even when I didn't know what I was doing. When the Lord told me to do this, I didn't know why. I was just doing it. Okay, Lord, and I'm just doing it, and he's blessing me. And every night, every Saturday night, like you asked, how often do we do it? I'd love to do it more often. The only thing, gorgeous, I just can't afford it, because this costs me a lot of little change producing this little show, but I love it because it's my passion, and I give to others. And I always remember when I first did my book, and when I wrote it, was wrote through pain, because I'll tell you guys this story too. It's going to turn out to be my being till Lord Rock could come back. Anyway, I'm going to just open up a little bit. I had a job situation, and I had a Me Too situation. I had a gentleman who sexually harassed me on the job. right? And it was a lot of pain associated with that too, because I was making a hell of a lot of good money for me, little girl out of the CPT. So I was making my bread, you know. This was in corporate real estate, but this gentleman was a predator. He was a predator, and I overlooked a lot. So that's why I talk about the accountability. Well, I'm now talking a lot about accountability, right? And it's okay. I take accountability now for like actions I made then. Like I can say, okay, I got cheated on, I did this, but I did it. I had small daughters, and I did this, and I chose that for this reason. Okay, this job that I was telling you about, this career, making good money, doing good things, but the guy was a cad. You know, I'm really talking about it. The guy was a cad, and I finally got out of it and went and told people about it. I finally did that. But the reason why you hear me stuttering is because I am in an NDA. I did sign a non-disclosure agreement. But I am a Me Too'er, which is another reason why I do the show. And so the book was created from the pain, from that experience, because then I had to lie about it. Well, I say lie about it, like right now I can't even really tell you guys what really happened, because what if he's sitting somewhere lurking in the darkness, right? Yellow godson. What if he's out there and hear me and know what I signed and come with the bull? Because you already that kind of type, because you wouldn't have came at me the way you came at me if you was a good dude. You feel me? You wouldn't have done that out the gate. You wouldn't have done that to a queen. You just wouldn't have done that. So you came at me sideways. So at the end of the day, that is how my book got created, right? And it's from like the toxicity and the drama and me hiding it from my family, you know what I mean? Trying to just, it's going to be okay. I'm going to just pull myself up with my bootstraps. It's not that big of a deal, you know. It'll be okay, or he'll stop. Or if I don't respond, maybe he'll leave me alone. Email, he'll stop. He didn't stop. He just became more aggressive and then more angered, because kind of when I finally started getting counseling for it, it was a situation where I was told that because I was ignoring him, and because I acted it made it worse, because now it made him more angry because I'm ignoring you. So now it's like, to him it's like, so it would make him a little bit more angry. And then I went through that dark period, which you talk about, right? I went through a period, and it was really tough because I started masking the pain with pills. With prescription pills, and I started masking the pain with that, and that wasn't any good, right? And so finally, when I got out of that situation, the book helped me do it, and it's called The Poetess Reigns, and it's a collection of poetic art, and it's an autobiography of my life during that section and period of time. And so that's when the Lord pressed me, and I began to blossom in this new way. So what I say, if it wasn't for all of those are just two I've chosen to share. There's so many more that I won't. But because of all of those experiences that have happened to me that I know were designed to crush me, and in some ways they did, but I came up bigger, and I came up better, and I came up stronger. And I know God is with me, because just seeing you all's beautiful, and I'm not even kidding you, from the bottom of my heart, beautiful faces here tonight, sharing your time with us on this show, just lets me know that I do have a purpose in this world, and all of the things that I've gone through is worth it to be able to come here and produce this show. So I want to share a piece of poetry with you guys, and then we're going to have some fun when Lord Rocket get ready to come back. But this one is called Transitions. I haven't done poetry in a long time. And it's called Transitions, Intentions, Competitions, Expeditions. Just a few of these I mention. Deoxyribonuclease, alterations of the cannabis, images that are picturesque as the burlesque dancer, prancer, Donner and Vixen, scratching in surface at the conviction here in my spirit, conviction in my soul, a time to transpire, a time to desire, a time for new, that only God could bring me through, bigger, better, stronger, faster. Transitions, changing your mind and your intentions, cognitions, And those expeditions, seemingly so precious. Transitions. Anyway, guys, just a little something fun for you guys. I don't know. It's been a long time. I don't know. It's probably a little rusty, but I just wanted to do that. I was just thinking about that because life is about transitioning and different experiences that we have. Like you say, Yellow Godson, to know that you transitioned. You became a completely different person when you went through your journey, and you can even tell us you created a whole new name from it. So, anyway, I just appreciate you guys tonight, and I thank you guys for listening to my little story and have a good time with me. Well, how you guys feeling? You guys having fun?
Yes.
Yeah, see, I must have felt really comfortable for me to open up. I never really open up, do I, Rashid?
Very rarely.
So, yeah, it's a good time, guys. But relationships are hard. You got any relationship stories, Larry, you like to share?
Okay. I actually have a child, 7-year-old son,
Yes.
named Larry Bevel III. I was with his mother for 3 years before we had him. We split up shortly after we had him. Just didn't work out. We're still cool. I'm not like no child support type situation, nothing like that. We're cool.
Yes.
But relationship-wise, that is a good example of me being young and blind and in love. I was chasing something because, like, cute girl, I was in Miami. I was, I'm living life type thing, And, I just kind of didn't really understand what it took on my end as being a man and, like, handling situations. So I feel like now looking back on it, definitely she had her faults. I dropped the ball in many ways, but I definitely think that relationships are something that people should not rush into. I feel like you guys should just take your time and, like, get to know each other and do everything in a very slow motion,
Right.
very, very slow motion pace. When it comes to being in a relationship for like a set amount of time, a lot of people believe in marriage. I feel like marriage is like a piece of paper. You know what I mean? You sign it. You should love me like that way before we get married.
Right.
That's just like something I'm doing for you. That's how I feel. But
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? That doesn't benefit me in a way.
Got it. What do you guys think about that? I just want to ask your philosophy on that. If you could just tell me, Larry B., why do you feel that way? And then
Because if you love somebody, you love
I just
them.
wanna know.
I can give you the same ring. I can give you the same commitment.
Yep.
I can give you the same love without me having to. I can give you the same ceremony.
Right.
We can invite all our friends and they can come watch it. This pastor put this ring on you. You know what I'm saying? But the whole concept of me like having to legally marry you on this paper, I believe that's just like some way to keep the hustle going for America type shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's some America bullshit. Like, I don't believe that shit.
What do you guys think? What do you think, Jasmine? What's your opinion?
I mean, he's making some very valid points.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, everything is individual.
For sure, right? I know. Simone, you got an opinion on that? Maurice?
Well, like, I still believe in marriage and the concept of it. But yeah, you did make a lot of valid points.
I believe in marriage. Like I would marry my woman. Like,
Right.
But like I hope you don't think like I'm gonna love you more after you get married. Like you know what I'm saying? Type of thing. People expect there's like a level 2. Like this ain't Mario.
Well, I guess, yeah, a lot of people might look at it that way. I never really have. I come from parents that have been happily married for about 30 plus years, legally married. And
You said you could.
So am I.
So yeah, and I admire that. Although I do feel generations are different,
Yes.
and it's kind of messed with my mind a little bit in the sense that I kind of lose hope every day. Like
Not every day.
not literally, but I see a lot of stuff, and we're exposed to a lot more online than they were, because
Go ahead, sweetheart. No,
okay.
No. Please go on, please
So
keep
yeah,
going.
it's just it looks a little bleak out here in these streets sometimes because everybody's so easily accessible and a lot of crazy stuff be going on, but I still have hope.
Excuse me, gorgeous. Keep
No
talking,
worries.
beautiful. I'm just gonna go ahead and let the queen have my seat.
Okay.
Go, sweetheart.
But I did feel you though, Larry, about moving too fast. I think I'm the queen of moving too fast, which might kind of play into like why I've been in some crazy situations. because I like fall for someone, and then all of a sudden I'm like, they ask me to be their girl, and I'm like, yeah. And then like a few months later, I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I here? Who are you? You're not who I met.
That's that honeymoon thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel like that's normal between anybody. Anybody's
True.
situation can move like that. Because I've definitely been in situations, relationships where I was like, I look down, I look up, I'm like, what the? She got a key? Like, huh? What?
Not a
You know what I'm
key.
saying? So you can end up there fast. It's definitely, you can end up there fast. And it's like, you know, I just think from my experiences that not everything should be like, so what we look at the immediate joy of what it is. And it's like, for me, like that's why I brought up the marriage thing, because like I said in my last relationship, that was my last real relationship was her. Like, you know what I'm saying? So in that relationship, it was like, I truly feel like because I didn't marry her and I was young, you understand? I was like 21. I'm 28 now. I was 21. You know what I'm saying? I was young. I was like, yeah, I did promise things that I probably shouldn't have promised. I said things I probably shouldn't have said. Who hasn't?
Right, for sure.
But I wasn't ready. And it's like that same thing with relationships. Sometimes I may not be ready for a step, but I may just need a little time to get ready. And I feel like that's something she wasn't willing to understand. And I feel like that's why it really didn't work. And that's another thing. I'm an ambitious person. Like, I go chase stuff. You can't sit at home around me.
Right.
So we was already on a different, like, you know what I mean?
What's your birthday like?
I'm a Cancer. I do it. I'd hate when people ask me.
Yeah.
Holla at me about these relationships. You have one yet that you just felt like went to the left or to the right?
A relationship, yeah, both ways, yeah.
Okay.
I'll go this last one. Last time I was really in a relationship was about a year ago, and see, here's the thing. I am that type of dude where if you're my girl, I want you to be my girl, but the girl I was talking to was low-key trying to do the sugar baby thing, and for the first couple months, I didn't know that shit, and left.
Far left.
Yeah, I feel that.
So what was the right?
That's when it gets too clingy, maybe, and that's too right. I'm just kidding. But I'm not kidding, actually, because I can be kind of an independent type of guy. Shit, I don't know. It really just depends on the relationship, too, because I found myself in a clingy position myself, and...
Could you elaborate on that from her side? Was she's a little too clingy, or?
You know what? I'm lying, because
Because I just had somebody tell me early in the week about a chick was too clingy, and I'm like, I want to see if the characteristics are the same.
Yeah, I'm being vague. Basically, I did date this girl in high school who, it was that type of, she'll walk past if we're not in the same class, and if I'm a little too close to that girl or something, that whole day is just gonna be that vibe where she's mad at me. And I mean, look, I understood, and I was learning about how, you know, what's necessary. And again, like she keeps saying, it's case to case. So sometimes I was just learning how to cater to her, but sometimes I was being a little boy too much who was just around those other girls a little bit. But I think now I'm more like her in a relationship, and there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, there's definitely nothing wrong with it. Thank you so much, Maurice. I appreciate it. Hello, Queen. How are you tonight?
Hey guys, what's going on?
You got the battle of the sexes. We were just doing a little bit of relationship talk tonight. So you need to share your name with the panel.